Both.
Yes.
The UK has decided rather stupidly, or maybe completely with intent, that we are going to allow Gaza students to come to the UK. Now, this inevitably, because of what kind of country we are and what we allow to go on here with our human rights laws and ECHR, etc., this will inevitably lead to more coming here. Now, this is also on top of them allowing a bunch of patients to come to be treated, even though we have just sky-high waiting lists for our own children. So, you know, that's obviously a great injustice to the English people. You know, we pay for the NHS and yet we are unable to use it. Good times. I just thought this was worthwhile covering and taking a look at, basically. So the government has agreed plans to allow around 40 students in Gaza to come to the UK in the coming weeks to take up funded university scholarships. Now, that in isolation, look, if it was any other kind of culture, yeah, it might not be an issue. But we know that, one, the demographic in terms of the sort of students, for starters, right? Like the university students, it's often the case that whenever a university student comes to the UK, they're allowed to bring dependents randomly somehow. That's something which we have in this country, which is just absurd. It's just absurd. Like, there's no other way around it. Like, it's retarded. It's a nonsense law designed to replace us, basically. But then also you're dealing with Gazans, you're dealing with Palestinians, you're dealing with a culture which is, well, they've been told that we are the enemy. Everyone here thinks we're the enemy. Everyone here thinks we're war criminals, right? And now they want to come here to study. Why? And we're going to allow them. Okay, good. That's really smart, isn't it? That's really smart. Yeah, it's not like any of them could have Hamas leanings, fundamentalist Islamic ideals, outlooks on the world. No, they couldn't have any of that. They couldn't have any of that at all. Not at all. Not only that, 9 have been told that they will be given assistance to leave Gaza to pursue scholarships under the Chevening scheme, predominantly government funded. So that's not, so for people watching in the UK, you paid for that. Government doesn't have any money. It's our money. People forget that. It's our money. So it's a we-funded initiative for international students to study 1 year master's degrees. Great. The BBC understands the Home Secretary has also approved plans to help around 30 others who have fully funded scholarships through other private schemes. They would be the first to leave Gaza to study in the UK, since the war, basically. Israel must agree that each student can leave the territory, though. So that's one new thing anyway. And I mean, that is basically it, really. We've not heard anything from, sort of how they're going to do it. I mean, they believe this is how they're going to sort of keep safety, which is just nonsense. So there's logistical challenges evacuating the students. So that's going to cost a lot of money. They're going to be taken to a third country in the region for visa and biometric checks before being brought to the UK. So that's, I'm guessing, a way that they're going to be careful with it. This is just, I hate it. And this segment will be titled something in the region of, Lebanon cometh to the UK. And I thought we would pull on your historical knowledge of Lebanon. In your inevitable take that I'm about to let you give here on why this is clearly a bad thing.
Yeah, it's obviously so. You've made a number of really good points. First thing says, the chain migration thing. So to people watching this, that people in the United States, maybe with a giant country with hundreds of millions of population, you think, 9 students here, 30 there, 40 there. Like it's tiny numbers. But no, the chain migration thing means that it'll be way more than that. And also it will set a precedent, a legal one, so that when hundreds or even thousands more want to come here, or our own enemies and traitors force that issue, all their lawyers will be on the firmest possible ground. Say, no, there's already precedent for all of this. We've already done it with these 9 here and these 30 and these 40 there. So there's no way we can stop another 200, another 2,000. And then the chain migration of their families, 5 at a time, 8 at a time, 12 at a time, whatever it is. Suddenly, 30 here, 40 there becomes thousands and thousands and thousands. And yeah, and so the next thing is, obviously, these people, there's a reason why even Egypt and Jordan and Saudi Arabia are like absolutely not interested in them, or Lebanon or Syria. Because these people, their culture and their society has been massively radicalized and is very, very, very militant. And yeah, and they hate us. They'll just at the drop of a hat talk about the Sykes-Picot Agreement or the Balfour Declaration or just the fact we're not Muslim, just the fact we're kafir, we're just white and Christian and whatever, and our women go around without being covered up, so they deserve to be raped. All this stuff. It's madness to let them in, and the people that are responsible for doing it, history will remember them. Put it that way. It shan't be forgotten.
I hate this so very much. And you know what's so sad and tragic? Is Lebanon is within living memory for a lot of people, right? You know, the decline of Lebanon, it's within living memory for a substantial amount of the world leaders. And they just keep doing this. They're so arrogant that they believe that, you know, the inevitable fall, which comes from giving people like this democratic rights, just won't come. They don't think it's going to come.
Yeah.
It's madness. It's absolute madness. You import a culture, tell them that they're oppressed, point to us as the oppressor, weaponize laws against us in favor of that demographic that you've imported, that you've told are oppressed. Then you give them the democratic right to vote.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen when they reach critical mass? Well, Lebanon.
Yeah. You asked me about Lebanon. I didn't really address it, really, did I? But yeah, no, absolutely. So the war in Lebanon, when we were kids, or even a little bit going back to the 70s, well, there's just sort of endless. There's been sort of endless conflict in that part of the world since 1946, really. So yeah, Lebanon was basically a Christian country. Loads and loads of Palestinians essentially go there for one reason or another. Israel is the reason. And yeah, relatively quickly, you just have a very, very, very brutal civil war where the Muslims are not prepared to be reasonable or share power or anything like that, or tolerate people that aren't of their own in-group. Yeah. Or if you look at Jordan in like the 70s as well, 70s and 80s, letting in loads of the PLO, militant Palestinians, nearly completely destroyed their country. It's a reason why the king of Jordan to this day it's just a point blank no to more Palestinians, because they were completely militant and radical and intolerant. Yeah, that's the people we're talking about here. Yeah, will one or two of them maybe be a good postgraduate medical student? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe one or two.
Risk,
is that worth it? That risk reward? No, the whole thing is nonsense. The whole rationale that they're trying to sell to us. Oh, they're just like doctors or whatever. No. The people letting them in deliberately, maybe to be generous, one or two of them are just genuine idiot, bleeding heart, Lib Dem types. But a lot of them, most of them, I believe, are completely malevolent. They want to see us in extreme danger and ultimately replaced and ultimately wiped out. Because it's so obvious, because the examples of history are so obvious and not that long ago. The war in Lebanon, Like you want London to look like a 1970s era Beirut. Is that what they want? Because that's what it will lead to. That's what it will lead to. They want it to look like late 90s Sarajevo, a war zone, an actual literal war zone.
Mm.
That's what they want, is it, for Birmingham and Manchester and Liverpool and Leeds and London? Disgusting, terrible, unbelievable, unbelievable.